Dragons Rising may just be the best thing that has ever happened to Ninjago, as it has just given such a breath of fresh air to the franchise that has been going on for almost 1.5 decades now. But just because the series is so good, it doesn't necessarily mean that the sets are really good as well. So, to find out if the sets are good, let's do this by doing a tier list. Alright, so I'm all sure you know how tier lists work by now. The best of the best go into S tier, the really good sets go into A, good sets go in B, the mid sets go in C, the really bad sets go into D, and then if you go in F tier, well, you just don't want to end up in there. Alright, so the first set we have to rank is the Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound, and this set is just kind of mid. I mean, for 20 bucks, you do get 2 ninja and an Imperium guard, but other than that, the actual build is fairly boring because firstly, this hound doesn't really have much relevancy to the actual show, and the actual build is a little bit lackluster, so that is why I'm going to put it into C tier, because at the end of the day, it isn't really the worst set in the world. Okay, so next up is one of my favorite Dragons Rising Season 1 sets, which is Zane's Dragon Power Spinjitzu Race Car, and unlike the name for the set, I do really like the actual build. I love the blue and the white color scheme with the little bits of gold sprinkled in as well. This set is also super fun because the wheels can like flip around and the car can roll around on the little dragon energy cores, which is super cool in my opinion. The figures are also quite good. I believe it is the cheapest way to get the Zane and Cole minifigures, who are really nice looking ones as well. But I mean, this set is like 40 bucks, and this doesn't really look like a $40 set to me, so I might just have to bump it a little bit, so I'll put it into B tier. And next up, we have another really good set, Sora's Transforming Mech Bike Racer. And yeah, I'm still not loving these names, but I still do like these sets. Anyway, I remember this set being a great way to get some of the new ninjas, being Aaron, Sora, and even Raptor, and of course Baby Ryu. Also, other than the figures, the mech is still really cool. I do really enjoy Sora's color scheme, especially because it is just so different to anything we have ever seen with Ninjago. Oh, and it is a transforming mech as well, and it kind of transforms into like a car, which looks really nice as well. But I don't really think I can put it any higher than B, because again, the price is just a lot for just under 400 pieces. And now we have got another really good set, being Heatwave, the Transforming Lava Dragon. So this is actually a really good dragon set. I really like its unique build, as he's not very long and he has like a big back. I know I'm kind of describing him in a bit of a weird way, but I guess I just don't really have a good way with words. But yeah, it is a very nice dragon. His neck can also make him do this. Whatever this is, I guess it is alright. Also, the figures are great. You get Lloyd, Kai, Season 1 Wildfire, who may be exclusive to this set, I believe. And of course, you get Roz as well. But I can't really see me putting this any higher than B tier. Alright, so now we have what I believe to be the worst set so far, Lloyd and Aaron's Ninja Team Mech. And you know that it is bad when I say that my favourite part about this set is Aaron's tiny mech. I mean, I do kind of like it. It's cute, you know, but yeah, I just do not like that Lloyd mech. I find the shoes just really weird. Like, why does it even have shoes on in the first place? Then I just don't really like the combination of the dark green, the brown, and the gold. And also, the sails, or whatever you want to call them, just make this mech look extra ugly. The only thing I actually like about this mech is the hands. You know, it is really bad when the best part of a mech is the hands, and that is exactly why I'm putting it in D tier. Alright, so let's go from one of the worst sets to one of the best sets, and that set is of course the Temple of the Dragon Energy Cores. I did talk about this set a couple videos ago. I remember mentioning how I like the autumn color scheme in this set. It is just really aesthetically pleasing. I also really like the tree growing out of the sides. The yellow leaves also pop. And then the minifigures go hard as well. Kai, Nia, Cole, Roz, and Beatrix. That's really nice. This set is going to be the first set going into A tier in this video. Right, now it is time to look at another set that might also go into the A tier, And that set is the Elemental Dragon versus Empress mech set. I mean, you get a really big dragon, then you also get a pretty decent mech as well. So let's start off with the dragon. I love the blue, the yellow, and then the tan belly does look quite good as well, I can't lie. The wings are a bit small however, but I don't really mind because the rest of the dragon just still looks really great. Jay's little jet thing or whatever you want to call it isn't the best though. And then the mech is also cool. I love the big orange sword, and yeah, it is just overall quite nice. Just like the figures, because you get Zane, Jay, Baby Ryu, Sora, Beatrix, Raz, and an Imperium Guard. Yeah, this is definitely another A tier set. But now for a set that made me a bit disappointed, the Destiny's Bounty Race Against Time. I was very excited when I heard that we were going to get a new bounty, because I've really wanted to get a bounty for a while, and I thought that this was going to be the one. But yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but I just don't really like this set at all. I mean, the actual build is okay, but it's the color scheme that really gets me. I really just like all of the blue and yellow. There really isn't a whole lot of it, but it just really ruins the entire set for me. But I will put it into B because the minifigure selection is really good however. And now we move on to one of the worst sets, Nia and Aaron's baby dragon battle. And I mean, it is obvious that this set is just bad. I mean, the dragon is, well, can I even call it a dragon? Where are the wings? It just looks so weird. However, I do kind of like the Imperium Guards hovercraft thing. I think it actually does look kind of cool. So for that, I will put it in D tier instead of F. And now, for the biggest set of the first wave, the Ninjago City Markets. And if you know me, you will know that for the big sets, they have to be really good for me to really rate them highly, because of just how much money you have to pay to get them. And that is why I just can't put this set into S tier. In Australia, this set is $550, which is crazy because that is almost the cost of a PS5. And sure, you do get over 6,000 pieces, which makes the price per piece ratio actually really good. However, I just can't really justify buying a set for that kind of money, especially this set, because it doesn't really represent anything at all from the actual TV show. But anyway, I do think this set does look pretty good, especially that left hand side. I really like all the brown and then like the green Borg saw next to it. And to move to the other side, I also do really like the cable car. It is probably my favorite thing about this entire set. It also does have Dara's bar, which I thought was quite funny as well. It even has a pool table and a spot for Cole to sing Shine Little Glowworm. You also get a little apartment for Aaron and Sora as well, but obviously the best part is that you can flush the toilet. Also, the minifigures are either really good or really bad in the set. The good ones are Lloyd, Nia, Zane, Aaron, Mr. Mina, Houndor McBrug, Camille, Derev, Gale, and Vinny. And then some of the bad ones are Sora because of her stupid hairpiece, and Race to 7 because she definitely should have just gotten her actual racing gear instead of that Bionicle t-shirt, which easily could have gone on to any of the civilian minifigures. So yeah, I have given you some reasons why I don't like this set, and then some reasons why I actually do like this set. Anyway, I guess the good does slightly outweigh the bad, so you know what, I will put it into the bottom of A tier. Alright, let's now move on to the Season 2 January wave. And what better place to start than with the Rising Dragon gimmick sets. And obviously, these aren't anything special, but for $10 you do get a Wolf Mask Warrior, half of one of the Ninja's mech pilot suits, and a Dragon Strike that, from what I believe, actually works pretty well. I think it is a pretty good deal, but from what you can also get for $10 in this wave as well, these sets definitely are not the best option, but definitely not the worst one either. So that's why I will put them into C tier. And if you want to know my order, it's Kai, Nia's, and then Aaron's. Now we have another pretty small set called Aaron's Battle Mech. And to be fair, the mech isn't the worst thing in the world. It is pretty tall, and I do like the spinny thing on the arm. But other than that, this set sucks. Aaron sucks, the Wolf Jet sucks, and the side builds suck. And on top of all that, this set is $30. So just because I slightly like Aaron's mech, I will put it in D tier instead of that F tier. But a set that is going absolutely nowhere F tier is Jay's Battle Mech. This is a set that everyone just seems to have loved when it first came out, because for $10 you get 4 minifigures, 2 wolf masks, a Master Lloyd minifigure, which at the time everyone was going crazy over, and then a Jay minifigure as well. But now looking back at this set a year and a half later, this Jay suit we know isn't canon, which isn't the end of the world. It is a nice suit after all. And also, Lloyd just barely wore his Master suit at all in the show. But I mean, this mech is still alright, even if it isn't the main pull of this set. But yeah, I mean, it is a pretty decent minifigure pack, but because it is just a minifigure pack at the end of the day, I can't really put it any higher than the middle of this list, so B tier it is. And now onto the third mech of the wave, Cole's Elemental Mech. And I really do like this set. I have been loving Cole's newer color scheme with the black and orange, and this mech looks really good for it. I also really like how bulky the top of the mech is with the huge torso and then the arms as well. The legs are also really nice and the hammer looks sick as well. RIP to that wolf mask warrior because he is cooked. And anyway, this set is also cooking in the B tier. And now for the smallest of the elemental mechs, we have Sora's mech. So as I mentioned with Sora's transforming bike set, I do really dig Sora's color scheme, and it's also really good on this set as well, except for the gold. I just don't really like the gold at all, especially for the skirt piece, which not only don't look good because it is gold, it just makes this mech, which looks like it is going for like a skinnier design, look unnecessarily bulky. Also, I'm not a fan of that Sora minifigure again because of that hairpiece. I don't know why they gave it to her, especially because in the March wave she got that hairpiece. However, I will still be putting this set into the B tier alongside Cole's mech as well. And now for the final mech of the first wave for January 2024, we have Kai's Elemental Fire mech, which not only comes with a Kai mech, it also comes with a mech for the Wolf Mask Warriors. So it isn't a completely unbalanced fight. Anyway, this has got to be one of my favorite mechs because I just love the red and the gold. It just overall looks really good. And as I mentioned, you also get a wolf mech and it is okay, I guess. It's nothing special, but overall a nice inclusion. You also get double the minifigures over the other two mech sets because you get Kai, Zay and Jordana and a wolf mask. So overall, this set just has a lot of value, and that is why it is just going to go on ahead of Cole's Elemental Mech. And now for the final set of the January wave, we have Eagle the Master Dragon. So I'm pretty sure that this is a popular set, and I can see why. It's a pretty big and unique dragon, and it also comes with loads of awesome minifigures as well. And yes, the design of the dragon is really cool. I especially like Eagle's hat and his wings, and I do think the color scheme does work quite well, especially because it's Eagle. But I don't know, all of the blacks, the whites and the tan just kind of make him feel bland and boring. But as I said, the overall design is really nice and the figures are great with Lloyd, Nia, Sora, Raz and Cinder. This would be an A set if it wasn't for the bland color palette, so I will put it in top of B tier. And now on to my favourite wave of Dragons Rising so far, the March wave of 2024. And that is because it is the only light wave that I've purchased sets from so far. Okay, so the first set I got was the Baby Dragon Ryu set, and I just think it is such a great set. You get Season 1 Aaron and Sora, which is great for like $15, especially seeing as you get Sora's hairpiece for the first and cheapest time as well. The actual Ryu Dragon is also pretty good as well. Yeah, he doesn't have a mouth, but it is what it is. So yeah, anyway, I think this is an A tier set, especially considering what you pay for. And now onto a set that a lot of people did not like, and that is Aaron's off-road buggy. So if we move away from the pretty dreadful price, I actually don't mind this set. I like the orange and dark blue color scheme of the buggy. I'm also a really big fan of the huge wheels. They just always look so cool on sets. Also, the hook on the back is a really nice detail. And then the figures are also pretty cool. We've got Cinder, Aaron, Baby Ryu, a Wolf Mask Warrior, and an exclusive Climber Cole minifigure, which is pretty cool. But then again, this set is like $40, and this is probably like a $25 to $30 set at most. So that does take it down a notch. So I will put it at the bottom of the B tier. But now it is time to take a look at yet another mech, since it has been like 3 or 4 sets since the last one we talked about. Anyway, this time we're going to be looking at Kai's Climber mech. So this set is just really cool, isn't it? The mech is really well built. It can stand up really well. It's got 4 arms. It's got a climber rope which is strong enough to hold it up. And this set could literally hang itself. That's how cool it is. And I didn't mean it in that way. Anyway, the swords are also cool. And then the minifigures are also just really great. You get Jordana, Tournament Wildfire, who is really cool to get. Climber J, who isn't canon but still a decent minifigure. And then Climber Kai, who is literally one of my favorite Ninjago minifigures of all time. So with all that being said, yeah, this set is definitely going on the top of this list in A tier though. Alright, so now it's time for the other Dragons Rising set that I got. The Shadow Dojo. The blue, the purples, the greys, the blacks, the golds, the reds, they all come together to create an amazing looking set. I love the trees coming out of the sides. I also really like the horn things at the top, or whatever you would want to call it. But then the best parts of this set are the wolf head, which has like a boulder in its mouth, and also the blood moon at the top of it as well. And I forgot to mention the fun battle arena thing where you can pit 2 characters against each other, and it's just like extremely fun to play with. Finally, the minifigures are just exceptional. You get all of the canon climber suits other than Cole's, and all of the main villains from Season 2 as well. And the price is also really good for what you were getting as well. And that is why this is going to be the first S tier set of this video. Alright, let's now take a look at this wave's 4+ set, which is called the Dragon Battle. So here you get Climber Kai and Tournament Wildfire on the hero side, and then 2 wolf masks for the villain side. And then you get a fairly decent dragon build, which has 2 sets of wings for some reason. And it also uses that 4+ dragon body, which is just really bad to be honest. Anyway, the head is actually nice. And then for the villains, you get a cannon thing and a trap for the ninja. And to be fair, this is actually one of the best 4+ sets I've seen in quite a while. But yeah, it is still going in D tier. But at least it is going to be higher than that Lloyd mech. And speaking of Lloyd's mech, Lloyd did get another mech in the March wave, being Lloyd's Elemental Power mech. So who knows why this set didn't come out in January with the other 3 Elemental mechs. A lot of people think it's because it was originally going to be a mech for Mia, but then it had to be redesigned for Lloyd, which is also why Nia is in this set, and also why there is some red in the set as well. But anyway, that is a topic for another day. But what I will say, maybe this should have been Nia's mech, because green and dark red just look so incredibly bad together. There's also some black, grey and gold in the set as well, and it combines just make what looks like a complete mess. The actual build is well made, I'll give it that, and I do like the helmet part, but yeah, it does just look super ugly. The only thing saving it from D or even F tier is that it is a good price. So I will just put it at the bottom of C tier for that. And now for the last set of the wave, the Dragon Stone Shrine, which is like the most split set I've seen in a while. Some people have the belief that this is the most beautiful looking Ninjago set we have ever gotten, while the other side of people just think this set looks boring. And for me, I can definitely see both sides. I can see just how much effort all of the designers put into creating this build. It is just really cool looking, especially with all of like the angles and stuff, and the blossom trees also just look nice. And they also give this set some color, which is really what this set is lacking for me. Because other than the little bit of water at the bottom, the rest of the set is just completely grey. Also, a lot of people aren't a fan of the figures because it does include Season 1 Kai and Nia with their hair, and also Roz, who comes in a fair number of sets as well. I guess it isn't also an exclusive Wu and Euphrasia minifigure though. Anyway, the final complaint I have of this set is that it does look small for the price. And yeah, it only looks small because all the pieces are like really compact. I guess that's the right way to say it, because the actual price to piece ratio is actually really standard and even good for this type of set these days. So yeah, I do really like this set, so we'll just go in front of the mech set in A. So now we are on to the June wave of 2024, and you know what, why not start with the biggest set of the wave, the Tournament Temple City. So just like the last set, I'm pretty sure there is like a divide in the community with this set as well. A lot of people like it because everyone else seems to really love the big Ninjago sets, and then there are actually some people who don't like it because it isn't really accurate to the show. Anyway, I do actually quite like this set. I really do like the color scheme of it all, especially with the main tower of the set. I also really like the rocky terrain it is all sitting on, because it gives it some really good height, and it just does look really nice as well. There is also a blacksmith shop on the side, which is cool. It even has some climber armor for Dareth inside. There is also even a dragon. However, the inside of the main tower is a bit disappointing. It is quite small, but I mean, you're rarely going to see it unless you're playing with it anyway. But there probably isn't many people who fall into that category who will buy this set also. Anyway, the minifigures are, needless to say, amazing as well. I mean, just look at them all. There aren't too many exclusive here, but they are still all really cool figures. But this set is $400, which is a bit pricey, so I will have to knock it down a couple of places to just below the Dragonstone Shrine, I think is fair. Alright, so going from the largest set of the wave to the smaller set, being Zane's Ice Motorbike. And I mean, it is a fine set. It's $10, and you get a significantly cheaper way to get Tournament Zane, who has his hair as well. And the bike isn't canon to the show, but I mean, it isn't bad, is it? But it also isn't really too interesting. So I guess I'll just put it above the Rising Dragon Strikes in the C tier. And now on to one of the most popular sets of the wave, the Ninjago Tournament Battle Arena set. So this set is like the perfect mix of a minifigure pack and a regular Lego set. So in this set you get 5 minifigures: Tournament Kai, Tournament Sora, a new version of Tox, a new version of Cinder, who is a pretty disappointing minifigure to be honest because of that tail piece, a purple Wolf Mask Warrior, and then, of course, the big one, Evil J. So yeah, the figures are great for the most part, and the same can be said for the build. I really like the statue in the middle, and the drum just looks cool as well. It also has the same play feature from the Shadow Dojo, and it is also really well hidden here as well. My only problem with this set is that there isn't really much of it, and it doesn't really represent any of the battles from the actual show. But regardless, it is a really cool set, and it will 100% go in that A tier. And from one of the best sets from the wave to now, probably the worst set, the Ninja Combo Vehicle. So yeah, this set was just a huge disappointment for me. I've always really liked the Ultrasonic Raider sets, and when I heard that we were going to be getting another one, I was pretty excited. But then this set came out, and it not only looks terrible, but the price is like double that it should be. So yeah, this set just has nothing going for it whatsoever other than the minifigures, so I'm gonna have to put it in the top of D tier. And another controversial set we have is Cole's Titan Mech. So before I get into my thoughts on this set, I just want to say that I've never really been a fan of the Titan Mechs, but in saying that, I think this set does actually look quite good. It's humongous. The legs are really well built and can bend. The arms are also super huge as well, and I also do really like the black and gold and white color scheme. But the thing is, this set is $100, and you only get one minifigure, and that minifigure does look really bad. A lot of people have said that this set should have come with Geo and Bonzel and like the other finders, and I think that just makes so much sense. But one minifigure is just really bad for a set this large. So that's why I'll put it in the top of C tier, because it does look really good. And now for the final set of Season 2, we have the Source Dragon of Motion. And this is hands down the best Ninjago dragon we have and probably will ever get. So yes, it is obviously going in that S tier. I mean, it is just such a humongous, fully red, cool dragon with huge wings, huge legs, and even a throne for some reason as well. I mean, this is just such a great set. It is just incredible. And now we move on to the most recent season, the season 3 sets. And for me, the entire just January wave is pretty mid. So expect a lot of these sets to land somewhere in the middle of this list. But anyway, let's start off with a set that looks very similar to one we have already talked about, and that is Zane's Battlesuit Mech. So this set is obviously very similar to that J set from Season 2, and me personally, I think this set is actually a lot better than that set because of the minifigures, even though this set comes with one less minifigure than the previous one. I mean, in this set you get Shirtless Zane, who is an alright minifigure, and you also get Tournament Wildfire, who is pretty much exclusive to only the big sets, and then Drix, who also doesn't come in many sets. So yeah, this set is pretty good, and I actually put it ahead of the J-Mech set because of the quality of the minifigures. Alright, so we are now going to be looking at this wave's gimmick sets, and honestly, I think these are some of the best ones we have ever gotten since the ones from Legacy. So the Ninja get a spinner, and obviously Kai and Sora come in a single pack, whereas Aaron and Raz come in a double pack, which is my favorite one because you get 2 minifigures, 2 spinners. Anyway, the actual spinners do look really cool, and they also spin quite nicely as well. So somehow, I'm actually going to be putting a gimmick set in the back end of the B tier. And now we move on to one of my personal most underrated Dragons Rising sets, which is Lloyd's Forest Dragon. So of course the main reason that people don't like this set is because of that Lloyd minifigure. It is just Mech Pilot Lloyd's mask with his Season 1 uniform. But other than that, I think this dragon is actually pretty good for a smaller size dragon as well, and it is quite cheap. Honestly, I might have to put it in B just ahead of the gimmick sets. And speaking of underrated sets, we have Lloyd's pullback race car. So what I like about this set is that it is a pullback car, meaning that if you pull it backwards across the floor, it will drive forward. And I think that is just such a super cool thing for a Lego set to do. And I think the main criticism of this set is that it is another Lloyd car, and it is also pretty ugly, which I guess it kind of is. But it is just a cool set, so you may not like this, but this is also going into B tier, but at the bottom, so you guys don't hate me. And another set that no one really likes is Kai's Mech Storm Rider, and I don't really know what to think about this set. I can say why it is very disliked. It is a pretty nothing set for the most part. It is basically just wings with a small section in the middle of a Kai's mech to sit on. But I also do kind of like how it all comes together. So yeah, this may be another unpopular opinion, but I'll also put it in B tier ahead of the other small battle mechs. But now we move on to a set that literally everyone and their pet baby dragon loves, Dragonium Storm Village. And people just like this set for the minifigures if we're being honest, because other than Zane and Nia, you also get Rogue aka Jay and an exclusive Moro. But in my opinion, I don't really like that Jay minifigure, but that Moro figure is decent. Anyway, the actual set is just nothing, like nothing. It should be a crime to call this set a village because it's pretty much just like a wall of rocks. But hey, we are on a little bit of a theme of putting these sets in B, so this set is going to go into B, but honestly, it is only just slightly going to edge over the spinner sets. But now onto a set that I have heard mixed reviews of, and that is Aaron and Raz's Stormjet. I mean, this set is pretty cool because in 2023 when the show started, who would have thought that we would be getting a vehicle for Aaron and Raz to share? But yeah, the actual build of this set does look pretty good, but what I don't like about this set is the color scheme. I really do not like that orangey yellow color at all, and the blue doesn't help much either. However, the minifigures are good, so I think we have another B tier on our hands. And before we get onto the big set of the wave, let's first look at the 4+ set. The best 4+ set of all time, like genuinely, if it wasn't $40, there is like a chance I would have actually brought this set. Alright, that might be a bit of a stretch because it is pretty bare bones, but it does actually look quite good. I like the colors and the stairs do look pretty cool. You also get a Kai, Nia, Lloyd, Zane and Ryu as well. So as good as this set is, it is the best 4+ set since the Collect the Card sets. So you know what, F it, I'm putting it bottom of B tier. Alright, so now on to probably the best set of the wave, Zane's Ultra Combiner Mech. So I just really do like this set. I like the colors, even if it is similar to the original combo mech, which I actually do prefer over this one. But anyway, I do still like this one because Ryu, he like acts as like the head of the whole thing, and I like how his wings can be seen from the front as well. The concept of this just being like a big bulked up Zane is also really cool, and the figures are just so great as well. I mean, let's just go through them all. We got Sora, we got Cole, we got Pixel, we got Noct, 2 Dragonians, and of course Zane. And you know what, I like this set so much that I'm going to break my trend of putting every 2025 January set in B, only because I'm putting it just ahead of the markets in A tier. Because I'm just putting it ahead of the markets in A tier. And now onto the March wave. Let's start off with the Thunderfang, the Dragon of Chaos set. So I'm actually kind of mixed on this set. Sometimes when I look at it, I hate it, but sometimes I look at it, I do really love it. Anyway, this dragon is really unique for many reasons. I believe it is the first red and purple dragon we have ever gotten, and also like the only dragon that is like made to stand up. Like other dragons can set up, but they're not like made to especially stand up, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I do really like the play feature with the prismatic blade, and also the minifigures are great, especially just for the amount of ones that you get. And I am feeling good right now, so I'll chuck it right behind the last set we just ranked in A tier. And now we are going to look at another dragon from this wave, the Arc Dragon of Focus. So I'll just put it out here that at the start that I do not like this set, but it does just feel like a smaller version of the Golden Dragon from Crystallized. The build is very similar and it even uses the same heads from that set as well. I'm also not the biggest fan of the split color scheme. I'm not really a fan of the tan either, but I guess it isn't really too bad. But I do just hate that purple though, it is just awful. But I don't know whether it's just the minifigures or something, but I do still kind of do like the set, even though I've literally said nothing positive about it at all. I don't know why, maybe I'm just weird, but I'll put it like towards the end of B tier maybe. Alright, now onto the biggest set of 2025 so far, the Ninjago City Workshops. So yeah, the main problem I have with this set is that it isn't the Crossroads, because for like 2 months before its reveal, everyone was saying, oh, we were going to get the Crossroads set, and I just got really excited for that because I thought the Crossroads would be such a cool set. But no, we ended up getting this. A set with just 2 small buildings and a mech for Twitchy Tim in the middle. Also, all of the rooms in the set are pretty boring as they are just tiny for some of the characters that come in the set. And speaking of minifigures, the Zane minifigure comes in a $10 set, Pixel comes in a few different sets, and the Dragonians come in just every single other set in the way pretty much. And then the Rama is alright, but he is just so annoying in the show that it makes me not want his minifigure anywhere near my house. Twitchy Tim and Casual Hirumi though are obviously both cool. Anyway, as I have said before in this video, I am not the absolute biggest fan of the big Ninjago sets, and since this one is expensive and doesn't feel like it is living up to that price tag at all, I'm going to have to put it at the bottom of C tier. And now we finally move on to the current wave of sets, the June 2025 wave. So let's start off with the cheapest set of the wave, the $10 double black set. It's been too long since the last double black set. Like, I think the last one was the Legacy Kai and Zane one back in 2019. And this set is actually pretty good. So I'm recording this video before the last 2 episodes of Season 3 have come out. So I'm not too sure if this bike is canon. I assume it isn't because Kai has another car in this wave. But anyway, for $10 you get 2 fairly decent bikes. a Kai who only comes in expensive sets, and also a Holo Dragonian, which are both very cool figures as well. I mean, I'm actually gonna put it in A tier. I mean, they're just such good value for money, how could I not? And now we go on to another 2-car set, but this time it is a 4+ set called Rogue vs Drix Race Car Duel. So I'm gonna put this short and sweet. There really isn't a reason to get this set. Drix comes in a great $10 set, Rogue comes in a couple sets that are only $10 or $20 more expensive than this one. And yeah, he does have an exclusive head wrap piece, but this set definitely is not worth just getting that piece for. And Nia, well yeah, she does only come in a Temple Bounty set, but that just isn't a reason to get this set for me at least. And yeah, of course Lego isn't just about the minifigures, however these are just your typical 4+ cars, and that is not a good thing, mind you. It is also just not very good for its price. I'm gonna have to put it just above the bottom of the list. So now let's get on to the next set, Iron Spinjitzu Battle Mech. So this set is just very, very good. I love the original mech sets from last year, and I'm just so happy we're getting more of them. Hopefully get one for Nia, Wildfire, Zane, Jay, or even Frack in the next year or two. But anyway, let's get back to this actual set. I really do like the orange color palette of this set, with the gold and also the black bits and purple for the new Aaron design. I think it also just makes a lot of sense since he is now on the dark side. So yeah, this might just be my favorite mech set from Dragons Rising so far. So let's put it in the B tier, above of that Heatwave set. And now let's move on to this purple dragon set. Oh, this is meant to be Rontu? Well, it doesn't really look like it. The head just doesn't look anything like Rontu from the show at all, and that isn't even the worst of it. As you know, Rontu is like a serpent kind of looking dragon. Like I mean, she's very skinny and small, but the set just makes her look like any other regular dragon. But if you forget the fact that this set looks nothing like Rontu, do I like this set? No, I still don't like it. It's definitely one of the weaker dragons we have seen in the last few years. I guess I'll just put it above the Rising Dragon Strikes in C tier. So this is a set that I think a lot of people are a fan of, but I just can't say anything that I like about this set. So anyway, this set is a mech rider set, which means we get an underwhelming mech to sit on a vehicle that is specifically designed for said mech. And just like the other mech rider set, I like the concept, but I don't like the execution. For example, I don't like the greyish white at all. It kind of makes the dragon look sick, if you know what I mean. Also, I don't like the look of the wing. However, I will give props to the minifigure selection here, because they do get Rogue, a very nice Aaron, a Dragonian, and of course an exclusive Rocks minifigure, who is obviously just extremely cool to get. But it isn't enough to save the set, as I'm putting it just above of Lloyd's mech in C tier. And now I'll move on to a set that a lot of people don't like, but I do really like, and that is a Ninja Combat Vehicle. So this set is another combo vehicle, and we all know how bad the last one turned out. But this one, however, I do think it looks extremely well made. You can tell they did not want to repeat the last year's set, so they actually put a lot of effort into how the two bikes look separately, and in my opinion, they do look really good, and they could even be their own builds, to be honest. I also really like the color scheme, and the minifigure selection is also very good. To get Knocked, who is one of the most important members of the 5, a Holo Dragonian, which is cool, and then for the Ninja we get Kai, Cole, Wildfire, and our first Frack minifigure. And unpopular opinion I've just learned is that this may be the worst Ninjago minifigure of all time. I mean, this minifigure just seems lifeless. Even when I saw him in the show in the first time with his hood on, I thought he looked weird. And this was before the set images were revealed. So yeah, I don't like this Frack minifigure, but the rest of the set is really nice. Yes, it is overpriced, but I'm sure it wouldn't be too long until you can pick this set up for 20 or even 30% off. So yeah, anyway, this set is an easy A tier. I'm even gonna put it ahead of Ryu. And now we are gonna be moving on to the Lloyd's Jet Mech set. So the funny thing with this one was that I originally thought that this set was small, and it wasn't until I heard the piece count where I learned of the actual size of this thing. Another thing I did want to mention as well is that the mech version of the set looks like a beefed up version of Lloyd's Hydro Mech, Anyway, this set also has two separate forms, a mech form and a jet form. And we will talk about the jet form first because I just think that one looks a lot better. So first off, I do really like the color scheme of this set. There's green, and then there are darker shades of green all around the set, along with some yellow and gold pieces on the legs or on the jets in this form. Anyway, I do like how this set looks. The cockpit's cool, the wings are cool, and the way they made the legs into the jets just works super well, and I love how it looks. And now onto the mech version of the set. I mean, this picture with the wings down just makes the mech look depressed. Do you get what I mean? Also, on top of this cockpit, it just looks weird, especially because it is quite small, and the cockpit also looks like it is just sticking out. Anyway, there is also a side build in the set, being the dragon that Kurt is sitting on, which looks okay, and I guess it is cool that it connects to the Thunderfang set. So yeah, since the set does have the jet form, I'll place it a little bit higher than I would have if it was only in the mech form, so go into high B tier. And now onto the last set of the video, the Temple Bounty. So originally I was super disappointed with this set. I mean, it does sort of remind me of the movie Bounty a little bit, except this set is definitely a lot more small than that set. Anyway, let's talk about what makes this set unique from the other bounties, and I think a key difference is the dragon head. So unlike the other bounties, the head doesn't just sit at the very forefront of the bounty on this set. No. It sits like a little further back from the top of the ship, and it also goes like halfway across the bounty as well, and I don't really know how to think about that just yet. Anyway, this bounty being nicknamed the Temple Bounty is fitting, as there are like, I guess, sort of temple looking builds around the set. However, in the actual show, there are just a lot more of these builds, which does make the set feel a lot smaller and more incomplete than it should. Anyway, there is also an inside to the set which I do actually like, just not as much as the movie bounty. Also, the minifigure selection is okay as well, with an exclusive Zane minifigure included. So I do like this set, but it definitely is not perfect, so let's place it right around the middle of A tier. So that is my Dragons Rising set tier list. Let me know which rankings you agreed with and which ones you didn't, and after that, if you haven't already, why not check out a video I made where I ranked every set Wave Ninjago has ever come out with. See you later, be Ninja.